that out of the way. All right. We are live. We are back. This is episode 15. Episode 15. We're crushing it right now, man.
Slow and steady,
Dude, I love it. What is it? Slow growth is still growth, and we're slowly chugging along and everything. So I love it.
Man, that sounds like you might have just made it up, but I liked it.
I'm digging it, man. I'm enjoying it.
So before this episode starts, I would like to apologize for my voice. This is Monday night after the weekend. I just played the Pittsburgh ICPL event. So for one thing, when you have a big gap between tournaments, you don't get to yell like you really do in a tournament setting. And then 10 man on top of that, you're yelling against Woods fields that are like, 10 times the size of the field we play on. So
it's huge.
So you're really straining those voice muscles. And when you're doing that at the top of your lungs over and over again for consecutive days, you end up sounding like you did chain smoke like a pack of cigarettes. So that's what I'm dealing with now. Just a little frog in my throat, but feeling good, feeling happy. I had a lot of fun this weekend.
Hell yeah.
Definitely disappointed with our third place finish, but as a team, it was a really good finish. But when you're right there, I mean, we were separated first through third. Every team in the finals, we were separated by like 9 total points across 2 games each.
Wow.
So every team had 1 win, 1 loss. Aftershock won the event. Kudos to them. They had like 15 dudes there, but they have a good mix of experience and youth, between having Poopy, Rodney Squires, Glenn Forrester, Billy Saransky, just legends in their own right, to having current pros and LJ Parrish, Dimitri Nidios, Ryan Hoskinson. They have Ryan Gray, or Ryan Brand, and Dixon Yang, who played on X Factor not too long ago pro. So, they were star-studded across the board, and they were playing dominantly throughout the event, and they ended up winning the event. Finals were played on the Hyperball field in Pittsburgh. There's a Hyperball field, a Mounds field. Mounds fields are always some of my favorite. A Woods field that has a ton of elevation, and it's huge. And then there's also a hybrid field that is a mix of like kind of a Woods and a more speedball type Woods field almost. So it's a good mix of fields there, but finals were played on the Hyperball field. It was us, the All-Americans, Aftershock, and Image in the finals. So that was like a finals like ripped right out of the late 90s,
Right.
The same battles happening 30 years later, which is cool in its own right. There's rivalries that have stood the test of time. Some of these old dudes still don't like each other, but it's a lot more cordial now. But things get heated out there, and we're all out there. We're all competitors, and we're all trying our best to win. And both teams played great. We were first seed going into the finals, so we got the pick. So Aftershock and Image had to play first. And we got to watch that game happen. Aftershock beat Image, so we had to play Image right away after that. And we lost some bodies off the break, and then we got a couple pretty dumb penalties, talking penalties, stuff like that. And they ended up winning the game with probably a minute left or so, which put us in a bad spot. It puts us playing Aftershock knowing that we need to win with at least 6 bodies alive on a Hyperball field. And that field is notoriously kind of hard to close on. It's really fun. It's dynamic. There's a lot of depth to it, a lot of width to the field, and a lot of angles to attack on. So sometimes, you might see 7 people across the 50s or past the 50 and still 8 people on the other team. Like it's a grinder of a field.
Yeah.
So that was going to be a tough task right off the bat. And then that point started. We lost a body. So we were already down a body, only had a couple more bodies that we were able to lose. And we fought back, got the advantage in it, got to about 3.5 minutes left on the clock. We were probably up 7-on-5 at the time. We did exchange a body in there. So then we got down where we couldn't lose anyone else, and we ended up losing another body or two closing. So
Yeah.
we beat them that game. We also beat them in the prelims when we played them on the same field.
Yeah.
And then they won the event because they were more consistent throughout. You know, we had a 4 game against Image, and shout out to them. They had a really good squad too, a multi-generational squad, and some legends. But all 3 teams really played well. And I mean, it's really a testament to the ICPL nowadays. Like 10-man came back and it was like unique, bringing people back into the sport. But like now all these teams are like taking it really seriously again. So the competition at them is no joke. And you even look at our bracket, like our prelim bracket, like Infamous and AC Diesel didn't even come out of it. So these are like serious tournaments now, but like just with people I used to compete with 20 some years ago instead of the people I currently compete with. So it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of great teams out there. You know, we had to go through Farside in the semifinals to even get there, as well as the Misfits with legends like Rocky Cagnoni. So
he's still out there?
Oh yeah, you know,
I love me some Rocky, dude.
Paintball players, the best paintball players, it's hard to ever quit because it's such an addicting sport, but it's also like part of us, and like all these dudes like help make it. So it's just, they might walk away for a little bit, but they always come back. And when we're out there, the competitive juices are flying, and off the field, you know, we're all smiling, hugging, having beers with each other, and it's a great environment. So with that said, it is a little bittersweet for me still, because it really is just a standard ICPL event now. You know, there's a pro division and an amateur division. It's still played on the heralded Urban Assault Field in Pittsburgh, where you know, MPPLs were played back in the late 90s. And so it's still kind of hallowed ground. But when Tim invented the ICC and brought it back, it was like a truly open tournament. And at its peak, you know, we're having close to 100 10-man teams all playing in the same division. And it was unique because none of the other tournaments were like that. So to me, even though the event ran super smoothly, the fields were great, the hosting is always top notch, it still felt sad a little bit that it wasn't what it used to be in that aspect. You know, it wasn't this unique standalone giant festival of an event. It was just another serious ICPL 10-man. So it's good and bad in its own right, but it's a great tournament. And honestly, for us, for the All-Americans, like I said, we were crazy disappointed to end up in third by a few points. But the truth of the matter is like we kind of struggled this event. Like we started out, we lost 2 of our first 3 games. We lost our first game, put ourselves in a bad situation, and you know, had some pretty frank conversations, I'll say, around the fire pit, and we straightened it up. And throughout Saturday, we kept getting better and better. We went into Sunday with a ton of confidence, and we played really well throughout the day. So you can never count out a group of people that have won a lot together, and that goes for, you know, most of the other 20 pro teams out there as well. But if you can get yourself in that right mind space, then you can turn anything around. But it all starts with that will to win, that belief that it can earnestly be done. Any seed of doubt that creeps into your mind, any hesitation or like thinking that it's over, then it is over. So I was proud of the guys for turning it around. Obviously disappointed with our slow start because we put ourselves in a much harder position, but in a way that made us a little more battle tested going into Sunday, and you know, kind of fighting and clawing our way through the whole event. It was a great time. It's still competition. It's still paintball, and with the big break between NXL events, it was just what I needed.
100%, dude. That's awesome. And that's the best y'all done at the ICC in a while, because I usually keep up and follow.
I believe we got third there as the All-Americans 2 years ago as well.
Was it 2 years ago? I thought it was longer than that for some reason.
No, I think last year we were like 5th or 6th. We've always done well there. I think the worst I've ever finished there was 6th place, but I've won it. I've gotten 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 3rd again. Like kind of hit the cycle at that event a few times.
Right. No joke. Well, that's awesome. You know, this big break is like, for everyone that plays tourneys, it's like what do we do to fill the gaps? And I think that's a great thing for it. It's kind of like, Ronnie and I, we got our little paintball thing. It's not a tournament, but it's going out there. It's getting out there with a bunch of people and going and getting a little rowdy on them.
Yeah, I'm excited. And, growing up as a kid, the Mad Max trilogy, for those of you who don't know, the scenario game Hal's playing in is going to be Mad Max themed. But growing up as a kid, in the 80s, Mad Max, I love those movies. Like watching Mel Gibson in an apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic scene. Like those were really cool movies. So I think you're going to have a great time out there.
Oh, I'm super excited. And I went and watched some old, it's like from 2020, I think. It was during COVID. They still hosted it. And because they host it this time every year. So, COVID at that time was kind of like everyone was loosening up and it was like, all right, everyone's outside. In and out. Yeah. And so I watched some footage from a 2020 event and it's really cool. Like there's a mission where you got to fill up a gas can, take it somewhere. I'm excited to get
you shouldn't have watched that. You should have just watched the Road Warrior in preparation.
I know. I actually been watching the new ones, but I need to watch Road Warrior.
Yeah, Road Warrior is my favorite of all time.
Yeah,
Beyond Thunderdome was good. Ones. Yeah.
I love Thunderdome. I love Thunderdome.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Yep. But I'm super pumped for that. I'm gonna go. I'm already trying to figure out where I can, have a nice refreshing drink stashed for me on my pod pack. So I'm figuring that situation out. You know me. I'm gonna have a good time. But I'm excited to go get CQB on some fools.
Oh yeah.
Get indoors with some people and show them what's up. So
I like that. And I like knowing that Ronnie's gonna have it all on film. So I'm gonna be able to get to watch a sweet D's on Doc episode of it.
Well, and so I bought, I got some new push goggles.
Liking them so far?
Dude, love them.
Yeah, they're great goggles.
So I have, for all my viewers, that's my nose, right? It's crooked as all get out. I've been
got a little character.
It's got a lot of character. I've been in a lot of fights. Had this nose bent up a little bit, but so I always have a sinus pressure issue. I went to the ENT doctor actually today to try and get some stuff sorted out with my sinuses and ears because they're just not where they should be. And so anyways, I got those push goggles and I have no ride issues, riding down into my sinuses because I could never breathe out of my paintball goggles before because they just come down and press really hard. Yep. And now these goggles are so they're so nice. They don't ride on my sinuses. They sit on top of the bridge. You can adjust them if you need, but
I was going to say I didn't even have to adjust mine either. I was like, oh, these fit great. They feel great, but it is cool that you can if you need to.
Yeah, you can adjust them. And I've got, for any viewer, I got those wide ears. I don't have big ears. I got wide ears. And I always had an issue with hard plastic pushing on my ears. The soft plastic ears are so nice in them. They're still super comfortable. And it's a hard thing for me to find a paintball mask that's comfy.
Yeah.
And these are just so nice. So anyways, back to what I was saying. Ronnie's going to run a barrel cam. I'm going to run a head mount so I can get that outside footage. And so Ronnie, I'll send it all to Ronnie and Ronnie can make a sick episode. And then we also have Jackson. Jackson's going to run a head cam too. So Jackson's going to be there. If you don't have anything going on the weekend of the 16th and the 17th of August, and you're there, come by, say hi. Jackson, Ronnie. I think Cody's going to try and make at least a day.
Last camp in Hobart, Indiana. Get out there.
That's right. Come out, hang out, have a good time. I want to get a platoon, get a good-sized platoon of people and just go mobbing.
I'm not going to lie. I'm disappointed in you guys for not dressing up for the event. I think you guys need a lot of leather and zippers and spikes, but
What am I supposed to wear? An eye patch? Go down?
watch some old Mad Max movies and figure
Dude,
it
I
out.
know there's eye patches too. Like, I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, you could wear one if you want.
I won't be 2012 anymore. I'm gonna be 20. But yeah, so if you are out there or you don't have anything going on that weekend and you're kind of in that area and want to come play, get registered, and go have a great time. Show some love for Blast Camp. It'll be a great time. I'm really excited. It's my first big game. So, I'm super pumped.
And since we did just shamelessly plug the push goggles because they're such a good quality product, I'd also like to shamelessly plug the method bolts for the Lux Idols. So I've been, I did a lot of the testing for it, and also I've been using it for a long time. But this is the first mechanical event that I've actually got to play with it, and it is ridiculous how good it shot. I was just ripping all weekend,
Really?
didn't break a ball, shot so smooth, so fast.
Wow.
So consistent, I was walking on the field at like 297 every game, not worried about anything. So I was really, really, I'm impressed with the way it is in electronic, but in mech, it was kind of ridiculous. So I was excited about that.
That's incredible. Need to get me one of those. Those things seem sweet.
They're pretty nice.
Yeah. So, well, hell yeah. Any more shameless plugs we need to do?
No, I think I'm good on the shameless plugs.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure. By the way, Mr. Rye Guy, you gotta try this whiskey. We haven't really had a whiskey corner, and I'd like to incorporate a small section of our podcast if we have a really good whiskey to really talk about. This whiskey is a Dexter bottle of whiskey, and it's aged in 200-year-old maple wood and cherry wood. Fantastic flavor profile. It's gonna be a little sweet for you. I already know.
Viscous too.
It's actually not terribly.
No, that doesn't look too viscous, and you got cubes in there, so
yeah, and it'd run, but it's really not thick. Dovetail from Barrel, what I drink, that stuff kind of gets a little thick because it's an actual finished whiskey. Mm-hmm. But this stuff, $60. $60, fantastic bottle. My buddy Jake that owns Liquor Depot, that owns the liquor store, I was like, $120 my range. After all the things that you picked, I said, grab me a bottle. $120 is my top.
Yep.
He was like, dude, you got to try this. He's like, this stuff
just brings you two of them.
What's funny is I found out they moved right next to me. So
really?
it'd be super fun. Have an episode where, we talk about like his knowledge. He used to work for a distillery, and now he bought a liquor store. Super allocated stuff, high-end things. He felt really bad about the Frank August, by the way.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm scared to recommend you anything because of the Frank August. I said, y'all didn't try it. I bought it. It looked great. The color I've never seen a whiskey that color.
Yep.
But $140 later, we found out that it was it was almost green, like they didn't age it long enough.
Yeah.
Didn't ever get its full profile. The color was amazing, though.
It almost made you feel like the color wasn't real.
Yeah, literally. I've never seen like that. It was almost like a burgundy maroon kind of whiskey to it. And some of their other stuff, Jake said, is good whiskey. But it's interesting that being a double oak, if you double oak something, that usually has a very stout flavor. And so it was very interesting to me that bottle really turned out. The bottle was beautiful. The cap was like made of all metal, heavy. It was a crazy looking bottle. Like it just looked.
A lot of times those crazy bottles will get you,
But it was crazy in the.
It was subtle. It was
look.
subtle.
It was like an elegant classic looking bottle
Yeah.
with a great color, and it tasted like
Yeah, it wasn't like a gimmicky bottle. It was more of like a
no,
decanter, nice thick bottle.
yeah, like if that, and I should have kept that as a decanter because it's fantastic. But I was like, I don't even think we polished that bottle off after that tourney. I think there was some left. And everyone in the room was trying to be nice and be like, oh, yeah, it's pretty good. And I'm like, no, guys, this is crap.
Because
like,
you were so excited telling them about it. Like, oh, wait till we have this whiskey later.
Oh, dude, I pumped everybody up after that, like before the event was over. And then everyone was trying to be nice, poured everyone a drink, and everyone was like, oh, yeah, it's good. I'm like, no, guys, don't lie to me. I was like, this is crap. I'm like, y'all are being way too kind. I'm like, this stuff sucks. And so we did it right the last event, though. Got some good old, what was that, James Pepper?
Yeah, that was nice.
You still have the bottle, the decanter bottle?
I do.
Dude, I love that bottle. That bottle is classy.
Yeah, it's elegant. It's classy.
Very classy. It's a great bottle. Do you have any good whiskeys that you're perching on right now?
Not really. I've been back on just like I'm been a Redbreast 15 cast strength lately. Like it's been my go-to.
I can't believe how cheap you found that. What was it like?
I know.
Like 80, 90?
Yeah, I usually get it for around like 90, 95.
I go to my stores here in Colorado, $150.
Yeah. It's good, but it's probably not. It's hard to get $150 worth out of a whiskey.
It really is, unless there is something that is like, I've had Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. I would never pay $1,000.
No.
I wouldn't pay $300. I would go $200 tops on that bottle, maybe. And
if it was a blind taste test, you probably wouldn't even go $200.
No, that's the thing. That's what's crazy, right? Is like it wouldn't.
If we do have your buddy on that you want from that liquor store, we should do like a 5 bottles we can each get kind of blind taste test kind of thing.
Yeah,
that would on the episode. That'd be kind of cool,
dude. Super fun.
You blowing up? You got your phone on?
I do. It's going like a madman, and I apologize. I'm usually really good about that. Problem no more. So yeah, if we get to have Jake on, he recommended me tequilas. He's like, if you like whiskey, like you should try these tequilas. And I'm not a tequila drinker.
Not a fan.
And did you have, I can't remember the name. I got it from Jake. It's like an $80 bottle of, it's a Blanco tequila. I got it from Mama D in Vegas too.
I doubt I tried it because I really don't like tequila.
I don't either. And I drank this and I was like, damn, I could drink this.
Now there was a time I could get down on some tequila, but it's not my go-to. But if you are going to have it, I highly, people have their tequila with their lime slice or whatever like that. If you have a gold tequila, chase it with an orange slice. It is perfect for it.
I've done that.
It kills the taste a little more, but it also like adds to the depth of the flavor.
It does. It's not.
It's surprising that something less harsh could make something like mellow out so fast.
Yeah, 100%. No, I'd agree with that because lime. The problem with lime is that it's just, bam, it's instant bitter. That orange, I've done it. I had a buddy do that with me, and I was like, I don't do training wheels. And he was like, no, if you don't know what training wheels to a bartender, chaser,
garnishes, whatever.
Training wheels typically with the tequila is salt and a lime. That's training wheels. So if you ever hear that, that's what it means. But my buddy was like, no, he's like, dude, you got to try it. And I was like, dang, this is actually not bad. It kind of just it builds to the profile. But the stuff I got Mama D back in, shout out Mama D, shout out Sarge. That's when we were staying at the party mansion in Vegas.
That Vegas house was crazy.
Dude, Vegas house. Dude, did you see me do my moves on the pole downstairs?
I didn't, thankfully.
Oh, bro, it was great. Full sprint, grabbed the pole because they were rotating. And I was like, wham, I grabbed it and it just helicoptered.
It's a good way to throw out your hip, old man.
Hey, speaking of which, the good news I wanted to tell you, and I was saving for this, so everyone knows that I got this removed a little more than 2 months ago. I had like a very deep moment with my chiro. I went and got dry needled today because I had tension in my left glute, which is where left side is where this plate and screws came from. So we've been doing a lot of work for the past, really hard work on scar tissue for the past 3 weeks and muscles and everything like that. Dry needling, shockwave therapy, laser therapy. I've been going through the ringer with it, and we both had an aha moment today when I went and saw her. She went in, she dry needled all my glutes. She actually hit a little bit of my sciatic, which, I mean, it's different on every person. So if you tap some sciatic when you dry needle, it's actually very common if you have muscles tied around that, because it's woven like a wicker basket, like set up like that, and it runs through the middle of surrounding muscles. But anyways, she was dry needling, hit a little bit of my sciatic, and I had this electric lightning feeling down to my toes. I was like, oh. For those that don't know, yeah, I had 2 months ago, I had a 10-inch plate, and they got 2 of the 8 screws out. The rest they filed down. They couldn't get out, so they left in there. My plate was sitting on top of my nerve, and we realized today how much of my issues actually stemmed from that. It wasn't just isolated below the knee. It was pulling my old injury, my bulging L5 and my torn L5S1. It was pulling all of this old injury in my low back all the way to my neck, actually. And it pulled everything out of place because that nerve was always in constant, like, it was constantly engaged because that nerve was going over the top of the plate. Today she felt around, was like, scar tissue's gone. You aren't having any relapse in scar tissue. She goes, your ankle is now, literally, my left ankle matches my right ankle.
That's awesome.
Low back I've had zero issue with my low back since the plate was removed. My neck and shoulders have been better. So it was literally pulling everything out of place. Yep. And I thought I was going to have, because of my prior injury with my back, I thought I was going to have to do another round of PRP. Comes to find out, it's not even my old injury. My old injury is fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of another, like, trust your instinct kind of situation, because if you would have got a lot of, doctors' opinions on if you should get that plate removed, I'm sure a lot of them would have said no, but you felt that, like, it was the right thing to do for you, and it was a slight risk to do it, but, like, you needed to do it for, the peace of mind and what you knew your body was going through. So you trusted, the signs that your body was giving you, and you're getting rewarded for taking that leap. So that's a good lesson in life in general. But so sometimes your own body better than other people, right? So trust those instincts and get things checked. Or,
well, what's crazy? Even my sports medicine chiro today, chiropractor, she goes, I am a firm believer if you can remove hardware after today. She couldn't stop saying, I am shocked. Yep. She said it probably 10, 15 times today. And she goes, I'm just shocked. I can't believe this. I'm shocked. She goes, I'm a firm believer that if you have hardware that can be removed, remove it. After this instance, she's like, because she has been my chiropractor. So for everyone that doesn't know, I've been really struggling health-wise for about 7 years now. I've had it in for 12. And I couldn't find out why. And what Ryan said, trust your instinct. Now, here's what's crazy. My orthopedic surgeon that did the surgery didn't necessarily even want to do the surgery. He's like, is it really causing you problems? And I was like, yeah, it's causing me pain. And he was like, oh, well, I guess if it's causing you pain, we'll remove it if you want to. If you want to. Not like, no, let's remove it.
Or we should remove it, or you need to get this removed.
He was like, not even trying to sell me on it. He was like, but that's and I'm going to be devil's advocate, that's a good surgeon not to pressure you for money.
Yeah.
He works
that's all you want out of a surgeon. It's all you want out of a mechanic. It's all you want out of anyone is a little bit of trust there. Somebody who you don't feel like is just a salesman. They're doing their job, and they're only doing it for when they need to do it. You want people to look out for you when you're dealing with things that you don't necessarily know innately.
100%. And you know what's crazy is like, I had an epiphany moment this morning. I was driving down to Denver, and I was going to the ENT, and I'm in full, like, I'm gonna be better than my old self during my my warrior times, my wakeboarding times. And I know none of y'all knew me then, but I was a monster. Like, if you saw me now, you're like, that dude wasn't that. And I was like, I used to be that. And I used to be so absolutely incredibly fit. It was ridiculous. And I had an aha epiphany moment. It brought tears to my eyes because I realized, I was like, I'm on the right track and I'm looking after my health. And I'm like, I am doing not just this for me, but mentally, I am in such a better place mentally now than I was 2 months ago. And it was just like, it's so wild when you really do. You're like, okay, it's going to be a financial burden. That's fine. You're like, this isn't just about me. It's everyone around me. My headspace has been just so amazingly in the right place. And I am so grateful. I had friends like you, friends like Ronnie. I had my chiropractor. I had my family, my amazing wife, who was like, get it done. If you feel like it's the right thing, go do this. It's a major leap of faith. And, there's always risk of infection. And, I struggle with, like, I think infection scares me the most because my dad almost lost his leg after he was getting his knee worked on. And,
with that said, the amount of pain you're dealing with and stuff too, there's always a risk of infection with the plates and metal still in there because your body can figure out that it's a foreign object and fight against it
and then reject it.
Exactly. So that risk is always there when you have any foreign bodies in you. So that's a risk I know with having, the titanium in my jaw and my elbow, and you just hope that it never happens because not something I really want to deal with. Yeah. Infections can be very scary. Too many people don't take them seriously enough. That's why you see, a little something turn into staph, turn into people losing legs or getting sepsis. Yeah. And it's, you got to be vigilant. You have to know when to quit being tough because it's teetering into dumb.
Yeah. I mean, being tough to me is taking the leap of faith and figuring out what you got to do to improve yourself, because there's risk. Modern medicine is amazing. And that's why I highly recommend doing the due diligence and finding, find a good primary, find a good surgeon, take the time to really figure out who is the best where you live. And if
And,
you have
hopefully
to
for most
travel,
people, they don't need to know a surgeon, hopefully.
oh, 100%. 100%. And what's super cool is like most people will never have to experience that. But our modern medicine nowadays is so amazing. It's truly, the risk of infection is so low now. It's not, they tell you that as a disclaimer and you sign a paper, but and I think that's what's really, great about modern medicine is that the curve is way down now. It used to be, obviously, like back in the Civil War, Revolution, like, when all that was going on, what was crazy was like, you got shot in the leg. They were like, cut it off. Give me the bone saw. They wouldn't even put you to sleep. No. Like, you're
now
awake.
They give you a lead bullet to bite on.
Yeah. They're like, here's a belt. Here's a bullet. Like, hold tough. If you've ever watched Master and Commander.
Yeah, that was one of my dad's favorite movies growing up, so I had to watch that too many times.
I love that movie, though. And you know what's crazy? It's not about the French versus, what was it, English? It's actually, and you know what? Shout out to Pat McKenna because he's a huge historian novel. I am as well. We had a conversation about it, and I did my research after we had this conversation. It was actually about the English versus the Americans.
Yeah.
The Inceptor was an American ship, I think made out of New York at the time, but it wasn't palatable they didn't think it would sell largely in America if they showed the English actually beating them during this battle. So actually that movie
they wanted it to be
palatable movie.
Yeah, they wanted it to be, enjoyable to the masses in America.
And that's the thing is like modern times is, they do have to shift things to make things more palatable because as Americans, we do not like defeat. Like,
I don't think anyone likes it, but
nobody does, but especially Americans.
Well, yeah.
Like, we're a bunch of hard mofos, dude.
Yeah,
like,
look how the country was founded. So
exactly. So,
but
I think
outside of that tweak, like everything I've ever understood about that movie is the crazy accuracy of like naval battles at the time. And you don't like, that's one of those things, like anytime there's a movie on something and an expert watches it, they pick up all the little bad details, but that was supposedly one that really, really was accurate. So
it was very, very accurate. And that's what's crazy. You know what? I'm going to do something fun, a little different.
Before you do, I wanted to touch on the one thing, because I agree with you that like modern medicine is amazing and what it can do, and our chances to fight infections are crazy. But it does kind of scare me, I think, like the overuse of antibiotics now, because like antibiotics are why we're able to fight off infections and deal with the problems when they're actually needed, and they become so less effective when they're used on everything. And we've come to a point where I'd like to see that toned down a little bit.
100%. The antibiotic, you're like, oh, I'm a little sick. Antibiotic. They just give you a broad spectrum antibiotic. And I agree 100%. And this is why you've seen what I've done. I brought it to tournaments.
No, don't be. What were you going to say?
My essential oils.
Okay. I'm
for like sinuses.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't need to be going too earthy on people, telling people your whole routine of everything that you believe in.
I'm not, but I have like essential oils that help if I have a sinus infection.
He brings a couple crystals with him and rocks.
No, I don't.
No, but your one essential oil blend with the hot water, it does clear up the nasal passages and stuff like that. One's really nice when you have the sore throat. And
yeah, and if you have any of that kind of stuff playing in the dirt or the sand or something really big, y'all have done it just to clear out your passage because you're stuffy. And no, I'm not going to go through the whole regimen. No, but
everyone has to find their own way and beliefs and different things and what works for them.
100%. But there's things that'll help you through these mild, infections and things like that. And doctors just want to throw antibiotics, and then you bring your body back 3 steps to make 1 step. And it's like,
use them when you need them. Use them when you actually need them.
Yeah, 100%.
And when you take them, make sure you finish them, because that makes them ridiculously less effective too if you can finish the cycle of them.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So
you don't quit when you start feeling good. You quit when it's done. So
exactly. Finish them, because if you don't, you build up a protection against them actually. And you're supposed to actually be on probiotics for 3 months after a round of antibiotics. So to build up back your system, because you kill all your probiotics, which help fight off all infection.
I am curious to see how it goes. We used to find antibiotics by growing mold on things accidentally. Now, now I'm sure they're going to have AI algorithms running every different possibility to come up with things. So, who knows?
Who knows is right. So where were we at before? Master and Commander. If you've made it to this far in the episode, drop us a comment on YouTube or Spotify, and tell us one of your favorite historical movies. I would just like to know our viewers, do you have a historical movie? What is it? If I haven't seen it, I would love to watch it. Right now, I'm listening to The Great Escape, and great movie. Wouldn't say it's historically accurate, but it was a very true thing that happened in the book, is very accurate. So I love those things. And if you have something that I haven't seen, I would love to divulge myself into it and kind of get to know that movie or book that you enjoy. I just bought first edition a Whom the Bell Tolls book. I always wanted a first edition. I finally spent the money. I was like, screw it, dude. It still has the old
your heart
script.
wants what your heart wants.
That kind of money for a book is wild to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, it's nuts. But I was like, my heart wants it. It's still in the old script. The pages are rough.
Yeah.
It's still got a tight spine too. So all that stuff in books adds more.
And you're giddy about it, I can see you smiling from here.
I'm like, I love it, dude.
So regardless what you spent on it, which was probably absurd, it was a good purchase because it's making you happy.
Yeah. And what's crazy? I've read the book. I love the book. If you haven't read it, it was a Ernest Hemingway novel about the Spanish Civil War, soldiers sent to take a bridge. Great book. Fantastic book. I don't know if I will ever open it.
I mean, you probably won't read it, but you open it and look at it, eyeball it up a little bit.
For sure. But I'm like, it's in such good condition. I'm like, and I don't geek out over books, but Whom the Bell Tolls is
you apparently do, though.
I do love books.
It's got to be the right book.
It does. Have you read Whom the Bell Tolls?
I did, but it's been probably
a
long
high school. High school, it used to be in World Lit. It used to be mandatory.
Yeah, so probably 23 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. Have you read All Quiet on the Western Front?
Western Front? Yeah, it's a good book.
Great book. Have you seen the new depiction that Netflix released?
I haven't. You have less time to watch things with the kid. I'll tell you that for sure. You got to really pick and choose your battles.
You got to watch it. The brutality. They made the movie legit into the book. Like they took it from the book and like they put the hard to watch shit into the warfare. Like I mean,
war movies need that. I think
they do
want it
because
to be visceral and repulsive and emotional, and if it's not that, then it gives people the wrong idea of what war is. And especially this day and age where people see atrocities coming from different places and think like, oh, this is crazy, we need to stop it. But these things have been happening since the birth of civilization. It's just now we're in an age where everything's TikTokable. So, and we know what's happening, the worst things that are happening to the 7 billion people around the world instantly, right? Like,
yeah,
people aren't supposed to have that access to information. And sometimes it desensitizes people to what it is. And sometimes like the bubble that our, groups and our areas and our cultures like kind of shielded us from everything else was sort of interesting. And the time period we live in now is unique to that. So I think people have to, there's a fine line between seeing something, realizing the true aspect of it, and then not getting desensitized to it, and knowing where there's things that you can help or can't do anything about, and not dwelling on them as callous as that sounds, because you only have so much time in a day, so much effort, so much love to give out. And you have to really focus that on areas that you can impact. And the more negativity that you let in on those things, it's not helping anything. It's just beating you down mentally and in your soul, and it's not good.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. Modern times has taken away from the warrior, right? Like you can watch it and be desensitized to it, but the reality is you can be desensitized, but can you be desensitized and actually do that? Like
absolutely not. I think doing it sometimes desensitizes, but that's a different thing.
That's what I'm saying though. It's a different type of desensitization to it. And
I guess the desensitization I was talking about, people almost feel like all the things that are happening are like a movie or a video game, because the lines have been blurred, and now the lines between reality and fiction are blurred even more with AI exponentially getting better and better in the videos that can happen. So I mean, pretty soon we're not going to even know what's real and what's not. So I was talking about that level of desensitization.
I know you were
getting used to seeing something, not even knowing if it's real, and then getting like things are shown to people more for the emotional output. to get a visceral response, to tug at heartstrings, to get people to react to something, because then the more reaction that there is, the more I guess profit that there can be in that. So
well, and you know what's crazy? So Saving Private Ryan, in my opinion, was the first movie to bring the real truth to war, right? It's the opening scene on the beach when Fish was stabbed, the opening scene and then Fish getting stabbed at the end were the hardest things for me to watch.
I remember hearing, like I said, both my grandfathers fought in World War II, but I remember hearing so many stories about people who landed on D-Day, like, walking out of the theaters, bawling in special screenings of that and stuff, because it was so it just hits so close to home. So if a
real.
movie is, yeah,
It was
yeah.
real. It made you feel like you were there and you felt their pain.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
That
With the
beach
crap-
still has that feeling. I mean, like when we
100%.
visited on Heat Lake and I stood there,
I've got
it's
goosebumps right now talking about it. Like
it's
it's
crazy.
a somber. You show up to that beach,
Yes.
it is. I mean, I'm full goosebumps on my body right now. It is the most somber feeling you will ever feel in your life. And if you look up, if you look up from the top and you go to the beach and look up, I'm sorry, there is no more sense of hope. Like in your core being, when you look at both of those angles, there's, it was a Russian textbook play. Flood it with bodies, someone will make it.
Mm-hmm.
When you
and that's
push
kind
that,
of like a microcosm of life, because by any metric, that mission was a complete success. But
it was crazy success.
Yeah, but the toll and the loss was also so massive that's the feeling that never goes away, because it was needed. And those kids were willing to sacrifice it. Some knew, some didn't know what was going on there, but no matter what their situation was when they landed, they did it and they did their job, and knew most of them weren't going to live doing it. And that's why that area still has that feeling to it. It's because it retains the memory of one of the most gruesome, impactful days on the world's history.
It's almost a feeling like their souls still linger.
Yeah.
Like,
there's so many things in life that, we only have so many senses. There's so many things that you can't perceive and stuff that maybe we pick up little inklings of it and maybe we don't. Maybe it's just the memories of something that you put more emotional attachment to, and you're feeling it, and other people feel that because it's important to you. Or maybe it's just like another unknown sense that you're slightly picking up. Certain animals have broader spectrum hearing or vision or this or that, and there's a lot of things we don't perceive on a daily that doesn't mean they don't necessarily exist.
Yeah, 100%. And if you've never watched Saving Private Ryan, it's not a fictional. I don't know how to word it, because the mission wasn't. It wasn't it was a fictional mission, but the landing was so accurate. It was like, that was the most realism that was ever made. And I will tell you, dude, All Quiet on the Western Front, the new one, because it shows these German boys that were all friends together in school, and they go join the conscript. If you don't know All Quiet on the Western Front, it's about World War I. These boys go to war together, and they were at the beginning. It's kind of like the new Warfare. I don't think. Have you seen?
I have
the new
not
Warfare?
seen that yet. No.
I'll give you my.
So no spoilers.
I will give you my information to go and watch it later after this. I'll text it to you. It's a modern time. All Quiet on the Western Front. It's just these moments you're like, oh, they're having a blast, but it's like you start with this like energetic, youthful brotherhood, and then you're just like, shit hits the fan, and it's like, damn. You're like, this is it's real. It goes real quick too. No spoilers, but it's like a very, you're emotionally invested. I would say those three movies are probably some of the top 4 movies. And like, for me, it's funny, right? I dealt with a lot of guns in my life, and you know, in movies like Sicario, when they're on the freeway in the first one and they go and push the bad guys in the car, they notice people are following them. It drives my wife nuts. I'm like, his bolt carrier group's open. His BCG is open. She's like, what? And I'm like, his bolt carrier group's open and he's shooting. She's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like,
it wouldn't be shooting. It wouldn't be.
It wouldn't do anything. Like, it wouldn't even click. It's not even going to click because there's no trigger reset at that point. She's like, it drives her nuts because I can break down all these things tactically. But it's like paintball. Like, if someone made a fake paintball movie and, like, did something like that, you would be like, his air cutoff valve is off. Like there's no air and he's just ripping. It's that kind of same concept, right? And like I find pick movies like that and it's funny. And so, but I think if you have time in like those kind of industries, like things kind of click and you see those when they become modernized. But when you start looking at movies that become like really accurate, like Master and Commander, you look at Saving Private Ryan, Warfare, All Quiet on the Western Front, these movies that actually like they do everything. 13 Hours. 13 Hours was a great example. Like those are all real movies. Like they make you're invested in emotion. And I think it's cool when you get a good movie like that because it's hard. Because like you said, everything is so desensitized these days. We kind of gotten a little heavy on this episode. But heavy's good.
That's what happens when you don't plan anything, you know? Start with a little 10-man talk, then all of a sudden we're talking about books and movies, and you just never know where it's going to go.
No, but that's what keeps it rowdy.
Oh, and also great new neon. Love it.
So, thanks, man.
Our name looks good in lights, you know?
I got to get a new camera. I'm getting a new camera. It's going to look way better in a new camera, okay? We're upgrading. We're learning. We're growing. With this being said, I think this is a great point to wrap it up. Dude, love you so much. I appreciate all the time that you get to put in, that you help put into this. I know you're exhausted after your long week. So I'm not going to drag you along. I would love to sit here and just converse with you, but we'll cut her short of that. With that being said, everybody, I know Ryan and I both really appreciate we hit 60 subscribers on YouTube. I think we're at 180 on Instagram. If you could take 5 seconds out of your day, it means the world to us to go and just hit. I know it sounds silly, right? Hit the follow button, hit the subscribe. It just really
only if you
makes
like
us
it.
happy.
If you don't like it, block us.
There you go. Honest truth, right?
But you wouldn't have heard that if you didn't like us, because
you're not going to be here at the end.
Still here.
We're still here, baby. But we're growing. We're really thankful for everyone that's obviously helping us in our journey and letting us grow and helping us grow. And we thank every single one of you. Discord is still free. It's on the link on the Instagram. It's open. It's free. Just, we just want to grow a community that loves life. And, now
the community is already here. So we just want, another outlet. People can reach each other, hear stories, share stories, and see who people really are. So that's what we're here for. We enjoy spending the time with each other, but also with all of you listening. So thank you from the bottom of our heart. And we'll see you again soon.
See you real soon. With that being said, stay rowdy. Take it easy. Peace.